Thank you for joining us. I'm sitting down here with defenseman Kate Reilly from the Quinnipiac women's ice hockey team. Kate, how are we doing today?
I'm well. How are you, David?
Good. Kate, so we're just here. We just want to talk about your hockey journey, where you came from, how you got here. So just to start, when did you first lace up the skates? When did you start playing hockey?
Oh boy, I actually started when I was 7 or 8, and I could not skate at all. So it was a pretty rough start, but we're here now.
How did you first kind of get introduced to the sport of hockey? Was it through your family? Did you see friends playing?
Yeah, my family actually never played hockey, so I saw a few of my friends playing, and I was a swimmer at the point, and I did not like it. So I saw hockey, it was a game, it looked super fun, and then I just wanted to dive right in, and it is a ton of fun, so I'm happy.
Now, what was the process like starting to play hockey, then getting to go to a high school like Shattuck?
That was definitely a big transition. So I actually always played female hockey. I never played boys hockey, which is definitely something exciting for me, for my town that's growing in that aspect. And then being able to go from kind of playing girls hockey in a minor association to going to Shattuck was a huge opportunity. And I got to play with some of the most talented girls ever, which just really pushes you to get better. And also they have so much fun playing the game. So I'm lucky that it kept my love for the game going, and that just went right into Quinnipiac as well.
When did you kind of get your eyes set on Shattuck? Shattuck's just not a normal high school that every kid goes up and kind of follows their public school system to.
Yes, it definitely is not. I actually had no idea that Shattuck even existed until I started playing on this spring hockey team. It's called the West Coast Selects, and there were a couple girls there that played there, McKenna Webster and Carmen Merlot. And I heard they were going to it, and then one of my teammates, actually, Courtney Vorster, who's from my town, Richmond, British Columbia, and she was a huge role model for me growing up. I kind of followed her to a couple different teams, and then she went to Shattuck. And I just got to see these like young women that I've always looked up to, great players going there and really enjoying it and blossoming in hockey and in school. So then probably my 9th grade year, I started to really want to go there and explore that option.
So you've known Courtney Vorster for a long time.
Yes.
What has it been like? Has it always been kind of like a comfort to go through this journey with someone you know?
It's definitely nice to go somewhere, whether it's to Shattuck or to Quinnipiac or any random tryout or spring team, and know that you have someone there that you know. Courtney is a phenomenal hockey player, obviously, as we've seen, but she's also a kind person, and so she's always looked out for me. She's such a wonderful representative of British Columbia and of BC female hockey, so that has been probably one of the best things for my hockey career, and I have so much gratitude for her, and I give her a lot of credit for everything amazing that she's done, and also for a little piece of my journey as well.
That's so nice. Now, Shattuck isn't like a normal high school. Tell me how that experience was for you.
So Shattuck was a ton of fun. We had a lot of fun on the ice for sure. We were very lucky to have what is called a blended school day. So we had classes with our professors on Tuesday and Thursday. And then on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it was kind of like office hours where you could go in. So that was great for us because it meant you could go to a lot of skill sessions during the day. And we definitely took advantage of that. I've seen some stuff about people never going into blended classes, but I had to go into blended classes a lot. So it was a lot like college now, I'd say, which was super fun.
So an easy transition for you.
Yeah, it really made the transition easy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, talking about your style of play a little bit, were you always defense?
I've always been defense.
How did that come to be? Was it just the first time you stepped on the ice, coach knew?
I mean, when I first stepped on the ice, I really wasn't very good. So they probably just threw me on defense because it was like the area where I had to do the least at that point. And then I remember them trying to flip me to forward, and I just always go back to defense.
Have you always had that kind of offensive spark that we see in your game now, or is that something that's more of a recent development?
Definitely. I've always been sometimes a little too aggressive, but definitely had that little offensive fun. And it's been really good to come here and learn kind of, unfortunately, it's bad to say as a defenseman, but kind of learn how to be a two-way player.
Absolutely. And I saw a little bit that you've played on Team BC. Talk to me about that. What does that mean for you as someone coming from British Columbia to play?
Yes, Team BC is such a great opportunity. And the infrastructure that Canada has to have all the provinces kind of play each other in that style tournament. And then also we have this thing called the Canada Winter Games. So it's like a ton of sports who all go there and all compete. I think that is such a cool thing. Like, that is just the coolest thing to represent your province, to meet the kind of trailblazers of hockey in your province, and such a great experience to go into college hockey with.
Are you someone who watches a lot of professional level hockey? Is there players that you've kind of modeled your game after, or are you someone who just kind of focuses on what you've done and try to expand your strengths as well as develop your weaknesses?
I wouldn't say that I've been like a huge follower of the NHL or something, for example, but I think going to a place like Shattuck, you're always watching the other teams. You're always watching, the guys' teams, so many good players there. So you're always kind of watching who's around you and who's getting better and what they're doing, which again is such a strength of a school like Shattuck.
Yeah, absolutely. And now when you're getting your later years in Shattuck, you're starting to look at playing in college, you're starting to look at playing in juniors. Was Quinnipiac kind of always on your radar, or how did you find out about QU?
So Cass actually started talking to me before I went to Shattuck. And I loved talking with her. I love her values about the program. And I really liked that she was interested in my development. She wanted me to keep getting better through high school. And so I just started talking to her then, kept talking with her through high school, committed my sophomore year, and it's been a wonderful relationship.
So there's never been any doubts of like, maybe I should go here, maybe there's other schools asking?
Yeah, exploring different schools was interesting. Really, once I started visiting schools and I narrowed it down to my visiting list, speaking with the coaches, and then walking into the rink here, my heart was here.
You can't not.
You can't not. It's so beautiful.
How was the transition going from playing at such a high level like Shattuck to now playing at a completely different level like the NCAA with Quinnipiac?
It was challenging. And looking back at it now, sometimes I think, it wasn't that hard, but it was really challenging. Adjusting to the structure differences and the way that Quinnipiac plays, I had a lot to learn, and a lot of it I'm still learning.
Yeah. How was finding your role on the team? Like, is that something you kind of found your niche as you were a freshman and grew into it, or is that somewhere you didn't find till later?
That's a great question. I would say that every year it's shifted a little bit as the kind of makeup of our team shifts, but it was definitely challenging coming in freshman year. You're not really sure where you fit into anything, and slowly kind of learning where your place is. So I'm really excited that our freshmen did a great job this year of doing that, and I'm really excited that you get to feel more comfortable as you go on, and that's nice to be more comfortable sorting out where you are every year.
Now, you've played a lot of hockey over the years. Do you have a favorite memory of hockey, whether it be before Quinnipiac, at Quinnipiac, that really sticks out to you?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go with the memory at Quinnipiac. And I'm gonna skip a lot of the cool stuff. I'm gonna skip Rosen Fenway, all that stuff. Ireland was amazing, so many great memories. But my freshman year, we just played such gritty hockey. And I just remember this one win against Clarkson, or this one tie. We tied Clarkson. And it was just such like a gritty game. We were battling so hard, and we had Abby Ives in net. She was electric. And for some reason, that just sticks out in my head as one of those little moments that mean so much, even though it doesn't look any different on the score sheet.
Yeah. Would you say you live for that grittier style of play as opposed to a little bit more finesse, speed?
I love that. Yeah, I'm definitely, if you watch me, I'm not like a finesse player. So I love the gritty style. I love competing. I love the battle. That's definitely, I think, where the most fun is.
Is that kind of how you describe your style of play, of gritty?
I've never really called myself gritty. I'd love to be a gritty player. We have so many gritty players on our team. I think that I'm a little, I definitely would say aggressive. But yeah, I'd love to get grittier. I hope that other people think I'm gritty, but I don't know.
Absolutely. And now you're someone, like, we've seen you skate from either end of the puck. You say you're not more of a finesse player, but we've seen you do some moves. Do you have a go-to move if you want to get a shot off?
So I never had a go-to move until probably like the end of this year when I started doing, maybe the middle of this year, I started doing this like backhand pull move. We did it in skill sessions with Brent, and I'm a player that has, throughout the past few years, I take a long time to shoot the puck. That's kind of been a focus. So what started to happen was I would take way too long to get my shot off, and then I'd have to get around the shot blocker. And so now I kind of have this backhand pull move that's been a lot of fun to do. So hopefully I'll grow off of that, maybe shoot a little quicker though.
It's worked for you a few times.
It's
for
worked
sure.
a couple times, which is good. But
What do you think is probably the biggest strength of your play? Would you say it's your shot? Because I know in press conferences, Cass Turner's talked very highly, especially of your one-timer.
that is very lovely. That's very nice. I would say that my shot is probably a strength of my play. It's something that I can kind of depend on, but I've definitely had years where I haven't been shooting enough and have really needed to work on that. So that's very nice to hear that Cass thinks that. Yes.
Now, we said it sometimes on the beat team, we've heard Phil say it on the broadcast, it's that Kate Reilly only scores big goals, only scores goals if it's a game tying or a game winner. Now, is that something that just kind of happens, or do you know when it gets to those tight moments that someone needs to score, and if it's going to be anybody, it's going to be you?
Definitely something that happens. I would be grateful to score any goal. I definitely think it's that environment of the team. You know, everybody's going to the net, everybody's taking the puck hard to the net, and we get a few shots, we get a few screens. Our forwards are great in front at screens and rebounds, so something's bound to go in. So that's where you just have to shoot, I guess.
Talk to me a little bit about the locker room environment. What's it like here?
Oh my gosh, I could not speak about this enough. This is like my favorite thing to talk about. I think that Cass has done a phenomenal job recruiting players to get here, and I think that over the years, our players and our leadership on the team, previously with Liv Conningston and then with Zoe Boyd again and Lexi Agia, they've just done a phenomenal job shaping the culture of this team so that we have freshmen, we bring them in, we kind of show them the ropes, show them how we operate, and it's a wonderful culture. It's really a family. I have so much love for this team.
Did you kind of know that Lexi and Zoe were going to get the captaincy, or was that a bit of a surprise to you?
I definitely would have expected that. They have such great strengths, both, phenomenal on the ice, and then I think their strengths really complement each other. Zoe's definitely got that connection. She has the ability to connect with any person. She goes out of her way every day to talk to different people and really to make people feel seen and heard, which I think on a college team is huge to have. And then Lexi definitely has that drive, that aggression. She's a player that wants us to work hard. She wants us to battle on the ice. And that's something that I love as well. So I think they really complement each other in that way, and I'm really excited that they were our leaders this year.
Now, looking at your play on the ice, you were paired for the majority of the year with Zoe Ewens, who's her first year. Why do you think you guys complemented each other so well?
I think it's because we're Canadian. No, but Zoe's a phenomenal player, and she has such a great history playing on Team Canada and everything. She is definitely fast. I think that's really nice. She brought some speed, some much-needed speed, to our D pair, and she's got some skills. Seeing her progress over the year was phenomenal. Seeing her breaking up the puck and making some moves, really growing into her role was great. So I think it was a fun pairing for both of us, where we kind of got to complement each other and grow together for sure.
What did it mean to you now that you got into your senior season that Cass trusted you to kind of pair you with a first year, who's someone where she knew your play styles would complement each other, but also that puts you in the position to be a leader and kind of help that first year grow? What did that mean to you?
That's definitely meant a lot. My freshman year, I was with the senior, Katie Tabin, and I was running around in the D zone, and I had no idea where I was supposed to be. And I remember she'd say to me, hey, you have to be in front of the net. And I wouldn't get it until later when I watched the video of the game. And so this year it was really different, kind of being on the other side of that and being the person who's supposed to know where I'm supposed to be and making those stick lifts at the net, making those little plays. I think that was a huge learning role for me, and I definitely struggled with it at times. Zoe Ewens had a lot of patience with me, which I appreciate, and it really pushed me to grow a lot, so I'm really grateful for that.
Do you, not to pick favorites, but do you have a player that you're closest with that is probably one of your favorite people to play with on the ice?
Oh my gosh, that is so hard. I love the chemistry that our team has. I don't think I could choose. You know, on our defensive end, anybody that you put us on the ice with is fun to play. Everybody has such great skills, like Kendall Cooper with her skill and her hockey IQ, Maddie Samo with her speed and her grit, Zoe Boyd, she's so fluid and she's got some good moves. And then again, Zoe Ewens with her speed and as well hockey IQ. So, and Lops with a shot, like she has a rocket, I want to shoot like her. So anyone that I got to play with, I was grateful to, and then all the forwards are phenomenal, so that's always exciting.
Chemistry is definitely a big thing for this team. You know, we've talked with Cass and Pressers, and she's mentioned how she doesn't really have a forward line 1, forward line 2, doesn't have a D pair 1, D pair 2. It's just kind of the lines that she rolls, the way that the chemistry works out. Why do you think that is a strength for your team?
I think that being able to play with 3 good lines, just rolling 3 lines, is really strong for us. They all definitely have different strengths, and being able to watch, you know, Shea and Mobes and Chance hem someone in the zone, hammer them away, really like break them down on the forecheck, and then you get Sadie going out and they're exhausted, and you've got Sadie Hoskin LB just put something in the net with a little bit of skill. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. Now, there's no secret that, you know, we've been in the same M&T Bank Arena during game day. There is a lot of empty seats out in the arena. Is that something that you think kind of affects yourself, affects the team, or are you guys just there to play hockey?
That is a great thing to talk about. I definitely have felt differences. For example, going through COVID year, having no one in the stands, we just had some cardboard cutouts. It definitely felt weird. This year, at the first half of our season, we played Yale, and we had some fans, and it was exciting. It was a good game. I mean, we didn't come away with the win, but I felt it. And you felt the energy in the rink. It felt amazing. So I would love to get more people in that rink. All of us on our team, we'd love to have more people there. We had some pushes this year, handing out tickets, that stuff. Definitely trying to get more people. But I really think as we get better, as our team grows, as we continue to make it to the national tournament, hopefully come away with some more championships, women's hockey, I think, will be a powerhouse, and hopefully we'll get to pack the rink like we see the men do.
Absolutely. And do you think there's a way, do you think it's all the school side that maybe you guys aren't getting enough exposure? You know, do you think it's just kind of the students that just aren't showing out? Because, you know, when you go to a men's game, you see there's such high production value. They have the Ice Cats. Is that something that you think would benefit more? Or we've seen in recent years, like I know last year you guys had most of your games at 3 p.m. kind of earlier in the day. This year, again, more 6, 7 p.m. games. Do you think that was able to help you? What more would you like to see either the students or the school do?
I think the school is doing a pretty good job. I think that because we're connected to the men's team, that helps a lot. And I mean, obviously we have a beautiful facility. I do think that it's definitely something that's beyond just Quinnipiac and how the value that we place on women's sports. We've seen, you know, in the past few years, salary increases in the PHF. A bunch of players are now really focused on going to play professional after college, which I think creates a really good pipeline for young girls. And then I think it starts, you know, at the younger level too with the skill development, so that when girls get to college, we have a huge league, and there should be depth across every conference. So I think it's definitely the more support that there is for the sport, the more people play, the better it gets, and then the more support there is. It's kind of, it goes both ways. So I mean, to the students, come to our games. Like, I want to see more people coming to our games, but definitely the growth over the years and the work that the women ahead of us are putting in has been phenomenal, and we're so lucky to be here at a time, especially when we look at the anniversary of Title IX. Like, we are so lucky to be here and to have women playing sports. So hopefully it'll just continue to grow. I'm really excited for it.
Now, while there may not be every seat filled in the arena, there's definitely a loud group that comes to a bunch of your games, that being the men's team. What is it like to see them kind of show out, show support, wear your jerseys, stuff like that?
That is so fun. What a wonderful relationship to have. with the team. Definitely seeing them around the rink, seeing them on the ice, it always pushes us to get better. Seeing how fast they are, how well they move the puck, and seeing how far they go, obviously going to the Frozen Four. It's exciting to see, and we're always cheering them on as well. So it's definitely a relationship that pushes both of us.
And again, while not every seat is filled, there was one Kate Reilly fan who showed up. She'd bring signs. Tell me how that started, kind of how and what that's meant to you.
That has been such a joy for me this year. So Mia came to one of our games, and she had a sign that said something like, "Can I get a puck?" or something. So I flipped one over the glass. Dan probably didn't like that, but flipped one over the glass, and the next game she came with a sign with my name on it. So that was fun, and we've had a couple exchanges, which has been really nice. Again, she plays lacrosse, and so even though it's across a different sport, being able to have female athlete role models and the gift that it's been to feel like, oh, I'm a role model for this little girl, and maybe she'll go keep playing lacrosse, either play college or learn something and really enjoy it, is such a privilege. It's been really wonderful.
Now I saw before the sign was the sign was made, and then we see it's senior day. You're giving her your flowers. Is that that's so out of the way for a player to take something that's given to them and give it to this girl? Why was that your course of action?
That is so nice, David. I think it's so nice. We have such a nice senior day. So lovely that they give us flowers, and I don't know, I just saw her in the stands, and she's so sweet. She's got a sign, she's got the stuff there. She later made me cookies, scrunchies, and a bracelet. So I think it really came back to me, which is nice.
Doing good deeds and getting them back. Now you talked a little bit about PHF, excuse me. You have a few old teammates playing professional levels. Taylor House and Corinne Schroeder playing on the same team. Actually, Corinne Schroeder just won Rookie of the Year, I believe,
yeah.
Right? What's that like to see players that you've played with that are so talented kind of have that success at the next level?
It is wonderful. It's great to see Quinnipiac players out there playing, having success, and really to be able to think where this is a point where, oh, I could go do that. I mean, my freshman year, that's all I wanted, was to be able to play professional hockey with like a livable wage, and I have so much pride for the women that have been there in the past few years, like Melissa and Abby Ives doing that for a while. So it's really exciting to see that, and it's really exciting to see them doing it so well, like you said, with Corinne Schroeder.
Now, is that something you kind of see for yourself? Do you see a future in hockey, whether it be playing, coaching, in any way?
I definitely will have to stay involved. It's such a wonderful game. It's brought me so much joy. We definitely need to expand on the accessibility of it and the inclusion of it. So whether I keep playing or when I go home, if I get involved in any coaching sort of thing, I really want to be around it because I've got so much love for the game.
Wonderful. And then, if hockey's not the world that you end up in, what do you think you'd want to be doing?
Oh my gosh, I love biology. Quinnipiac has given me such a great mix. I love the team, and then I've loved my education here. I've loved the programs. The biology program is phenomenal. I love it. I love it, but I've just really fallen in love with what I'm learning, and so whatever I go into, I want to be in science. I want to be studying life in some sort of way and really continue on what I've learned here because it's been so great.
Now, last year we saw your teammate and this year's captain, Lexia Gio. She won the Mandy Schwartz Student Athlete of the Year award, an award that you were nominated for and a finalist for as well. To see that kind of come back to your team, as well as for Mandy Schwartz, who played with Cass Turner, what did that mean to you to be nominated for that?
It was a privilege to be nominated. It was really nice, and I think it was so nice to have teammates saying to me, like, Kate, I'm really proud of you, and I think that you really deserve this, and that was really nice. It was nice to have that support. I mean, it's stuff that we all do. My whole team is involved with community service. They do a phenomenal job. So I think it's something that definitely brings us together as a team because we really value that sort of thing in our culture.
Wonderful, Kate. So thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Of course.
We really do appreciate it. Back to you guys at the desk.